Happy learning. Now we are going to see about what is mean by feedback signal, what is mean by negative feedback, what is open loop and closed loop system. So in control system, the main concept we have to see is about feedback signal. So already you may have crossed the word what is mean by feedback. So if in a classroom you will be giving feedbacks about the classes, or if ever you are buying any products, you may have some feedbacks about it. So feedback is nothing but a measure of the output of the system used for feedback to control the system. So relevant to the output what we are getting from a system, we may give some variations. What are the variations like that will be again feedback to the will be given as a input, so that the system will be get controlled relevant to it. So that is known as a feedback signal. So again I'll be repeating, feedback signal is nothing but a measure of the output of the system which is used for feedback to the that will be given, output will be given again as an input, feedback to the control system we can tell. So negative feedback, it's nothing but the output signal is feedback, so that it subtracts from the input signal. So if ever giving the output, that will be get subtracted with the input signal, again that will be given as an input to the system, so that we call as negative feedback. So now let me see what is meant by open loop control system and closed loop control system. Open loop is nothing but, let me give the definition, then I will be explaining. A system that utilize a device to control the process without using the feedback. So already I have told you feedback is nothing but the output of the system will be again feedback will be given as an input to the input system we can tell. So if the present output, if we are giving an input to a system, we will be getting an output. So if we are not feeding that output again as an input, so only relevant to the input what we are applying, we will be getting the output. So such type of system is known as an open loop control system. So there in the open loop control system, we won't give any types of feedbacks. So see, a system that utilizes a device to control the process without using the feedback, so thus the output has no effect upon the signal to the process. So relevant to the input what we are giving, we will be getting the output. We are not feeding the output again back, we are not feeding that back to the input. Are you clear with this? This is known as open loop control system. So next is closed loop control system. So it's nothing but it is opposite to that. So a closed loop, the loop is got closed, it's nothing but, so the output again, what is the output we are getting from the system, that will be again feedback to the input we can tell. Relevant to that, the system performance of the system will be get controlled. So a system that uses a measurement of the output and compares it with the desired output we can tell, so that we called as a closed loop system. I think you can able to understand. Now see, with a small block diagram I'll explain you. So here this is an example for open loop control system. So input we are giving to a system, we are getting the output. So just R of t is called as an input, just we are considering C of t as output. Relevant to the input what we are giving, we will be having some variations in the output. So we are not feeding the output back to the input we can tell. So this type of system is called as open loop control system. So for any input we will get the output. For example, the traffic lights and all, already it is fed, an input is given, relevant to that the output is produced, that's all. So there is no control over the output at any cost. If we give input, we will be getting output. So such type of system are called as open loop control system. Next comes closed loop. See here, this is an example for a closed loop. So if ever a system input is given to a system, here the normal open loop control system, the output is again feedback is given to the input we can say. If the loop is get closed like this, we call this loop as a closed loop system. So again relevant to the output performance, again that is feedback to the input. So the difference of the signals will be given again to this controller, such that if ever any output performance was not good, relevant to this feedback what we are given, the system performance will be get controlled, and correspondingly we will get a output. So if ever the output is again fed back to the input, we call such type of system as closed loop system. I think you are very clear with this. Let me see in further videos. Thank you.